As a shepherd seeketh out his flock, so will I seek out my sheep, and will deliver them out of all places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day. I will feed them in a good pasture, and upon the high mountains of Israel shall their fold be. There shall they lie in a good fold. And in a fat pasture shall they feed upon the mountains of Israel. I will seek that which was lost, and bind up that which was broken, and will strengthen that which was sick. To seek, to bind up, and to strengthen. Program of the Vitso Gadna farm at Afula. Among the lovely mountains of Gilboa, in the valley of Jezreel, the Vitso Gadna farm is redeeming the remnants of a shattered Jewish life from the dispersion. To many of the newcomers in Israel, the first station is a lowly one, the transition camp, or Mabara. This is not much of an improvement over the poverty-stricken homes they have abandoned in North Africa or the Middle East. There is little opportunity to slough off the degrading habits of their past. Precious time is wasted by the young. Valleys of Morocco follow them, and the seeds of delinquency find fertile soil. As quickly as possible, they must be taken out of these surroundings and started on the road to a creative and worthwhile life. And here they come, the latest crop from Mabara and crowded towns. The house mother and Gadna instructors, Uri and Esther, are waiting for them. Youngsters who have never learned to be young in the oriental slums from which they come. At the Afula farm, sponsored by their Argentine Federation, Vitso has joined hands with Gadna, the youth training corps of the Israel Defense Army. Here it will teach them the joys of work, the love of the land, and what it means to be self-reliant citizens in their own beautiful country. Then, when the time comes, they will return to their own families and pass on their knowledge and their new skills to them. On the way to the dining room, Uri gets acquainted with his young charges, by no means an easy task. But after winning their confidence, he will gain their friendship and will be able to help them. Tables and chairs, any kind of order, all are new to these children. In the countries from which they came, and in the Mabarot here, the habits of Western civilization have not penetrated. It is only through the children that we can bring our more backward brothers into line with the rest of the country. But for the moment, old habits are still to the fore. Even the food is new and different, but Afula sets a good table, and what's more, everything's grown right here on the farm by the children themselves. First impressions are important. This is not only a place in which to learn new things and grow strong and healthy, but a home in which they can find out what it means to be free citizens in a free country. All they need is a chance to see something better. And Afula is better, much better, and quite different from anything they have seen before. Uri explains that they will spend half of each day learning farm chores, so that when they return to their families, they'll be able to help earn a living in the settlements and farms to which they will be sent. This is the aim of the Keren Kayemet, which has given this land to the school. On their first day, they find it hard to believe that they will soon be able, by themselves, to run this machinery. Yet there are some students, only a year or two older, who are working like veterans. The herd is Afula's pride and joy. These young city dwellers have a normal, instinctive love of animals. And how they adore these pampered queens of the dairy herd. Lavish care is given to animals in all of Israel's settlements. The children's village is a big place, and it's rather fun to ride. The 110 children at Afula work the farm by themselves. Actually, they spend half their time at work and half is spent on classroom studies. Each child is an individual with his own problems, background, and story, which must be heard and understood if his teachers and instructors are to do their best for him. Shimon comes from Turkey. There are 8 children in the family, and his father doesn't work. Why should he, with a sturdy son of 13? But Shimon somehow, somewhere, had the idea that there was a better life possible than that of the Mabarah. Yaakov is from Iraq. With us, he says proudly, what a man needs to do, he does. He is 13, and therefore already a man. His family couldn't quite understand his wanting to leave them, but it was his wish, and here he is. Nachman comes from Yemen. He got into bad company and bad habits, and felt there was something wrong with it all. His parents, too, thought that a child must remain with his family. But Nachman persuaded them that he'd be able to earn more eventually if he had some training, and so they agreed at last. Naomi is the only girl in the new group, the 12th in the whole school. Oriental families do not believe in educating their girls. But in modern Israel, the girls are becoming full human beings instead of remaining domestic slaves. Each day begins with a colorful ceremony. It is the only semi-military activity at Afula. At first, the new ones do not realize that they are part of this ceremony too. Standing in line, standing at attention, is a new experience. When the blue and white flag goes fluttering up the mast, the group feels that there is something stirring and moving. Many branches of agriculture are taught, so that the students may be able to adapt their knowledge to any conditions after they graduate. Radishes are picked and packed for market. It's an easy first lesson for youngsters who are just beginning to explore the secrets of the earth. Israel now has had several generations of experience in cultivating the soil. Each year, the science of agriculture makes the land more fruitful and the crops more diverse. Farm machinery seems to have a magical attraction for boys. At Afula, the work is mechanized, and the students must learn all about the care and repair of the equipment. The instructors are highly qualified to teach the youngsters how to handle all kinds of machinery, as many of them have grown up in kibbutzim, where large-scale farming is practiced. There is nothing like the thrill of driving a tractor to make a boy feel king of all he surveys. Looking after the poultry run has a fascination all its own. The students learn how to increase the egg production by proper feeding and care of the hens. Poultry farming can yield a good family income. Although the girls learn every branch of agriculture, horticulture is often their favorite and is a skill in much demand in Israel today. But there are other lessons to be learned at Afula. Our new group must begin with the elementaries of reading and writing. Most of them had had little or no schooling before they came here. And some might wish it had never caught up with them. The aim of Vitso is to send these children back to their families not only as skilled farmers, but as educated citizens who will be able to take an intelligent part in the life of their communities. Here are some of the older students, nearly ready for graduation. The Gadna instructors are all high school graduates, and after they finish their stint in the army, many will choose teaching as their life's career. They find it stimulating work to bring these fresh young minds into a bright new world. It's not all work and study at Afula. Leisure time activities are important breaks in the routine, as the youngsters find pleasure and relaxation in a club-like atmosphere. Sport and physical exercises are an important part of the program. Preparedness for emergencies is necessary knowledge in most settlements. But most important of all is the fostering of the group spirit, teaching them to work together, all for each other. A favorite activity is the field trip into Israel's beautiful countryside. Hiking through the Emek at the foot of Mount Tabor, history itself becomes alive. It is in this region that Gideon fought the Midianites. The next history lesson will be as vivid and fresh as last week's hike. Graduation day has come for the older students. They've spent 2 important years of their young lives at the farm. Vitso has given them the warmth and care of a home. The Keren Kayemet has given them the land. And Gadna has given them their teachers. Graduation means more to these youngsters than just winning a Gadna insignia for one's shirt. It is more than being able to milk a cow or grow beets, or even how to take care of one's mind and body. Vitso and Keren Kayemet have given them a new way of life. The children will take their places in many communities throughout the length and breadth of Israel. They've learned the lessons of good citizenship, of independence. They've learned the pleasures of honest work and well-spent leisure. They will return to their families, bringing new ideas which only they, the children, can teach to their elders not yet rooted in this strange environment. Youth will teach new ways of working the soil. The realities of the present also force them to learn the art of self-defense. Now that they are rooted in the soil, they have all reason to protect it. For it is they who are the fruits and the promise of the land of Israel.